Welcome to the FE Network. We believe that every Christian has a mission, and we ask you to imagine a world where every Christian is on mission, tackling every case of evil and suffering in our backyards and across the world. The church does a great job of reaching the world for Christ beyond its means, but it can't do everything. The local church can't fully commit to the mission of every member, but every Christian has a mission. What happens when Christians are genuinely called by God, but don't know what to do? It can be difficult for pastors to understand what this feels like, since we're doing what we are called to do. Think about the woman that desperately wants to have children but can't, a father that wants to provide for his family, a child that wants to be accepted. Maybe the local church can't do it all, but the sum total of all Christians globally can. There may not be a core group to support an individual mission in one church, but there are across 5 churches, or at least one other person that can help that individual take one more step in their calling. It all comes down to Christians freely and intentionally sharing what they know with those that want to know.
Between fusion and empowerment, fusion is the nonlinear process. Where the empowerment modules are linear, deductive, and structured, fusion is inductive, spontaneous, unpredictable, and can lead to great innovation. Fusion is the synergy of 2 or more things to make something new. In the recent film Contagion, a virus jumps from a bat to a pig, taking a bit of DNA from each to become the virus that changes the world. A similar process happens within the minds of great innovators as well as average people. They read a book, listen to a lecture, watch a documentary, all on totally unrelated subjects, and then a few weeks, a few months later, little bits from each idea incubate into a new idea. We can diversify, amplify, and accelerate this process through a critical mass of the biggest and best ideas from the world, and the God ideas from the unified body of Christ. There are so many problems within our world. Some seem unsolvable. But I think that somewhere out there is a metaphorical pig and a metaphorical bat that need to cross paths for the creation of the idea virus that ends slavery, cures AIDS, puts an end to starvation, or solves the problem that's on your heart.
With so many people in need, and so many Christians that want to help, and so many that know how to help, no one should ever have to feel unable to pursue their calling. By examining the principles of the world's greatest achievers and exercising our will to help each other, we can become better equipped and empowered to impact the world for Christ.
Failing to plan is planning to fail, and planning begins with setting the destination. Without a clear vision of what we are supposed to do, we are left with vague dreams and a life of drifting. Our mission is too important for anything less than laser-precise focus.
One of our first steps is an assessment of what will be needed for the mission, not just time, money, skills, and knowledge, but our personality resources as well. Stewardship principles will help us assess the best uses of our resources and where we need to stop spending our resources altogether.
How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. A vision from God can be an overwhelming thing.
To decrease the intimidation factor, break the mission into small steps. You can call them milestones, strategic objectives, or stepping stones. It doesn't matter. Then break each step into its subsequent smaller steps.
No one has everything they need, and no one goes on a mission alone. The fellowship of the body of Christ is absolutely essential and is the heart of partnering. The right people for the right jobs removes the obstacles of limited resources. Partnering multiplies your time by delegating work and responsibilities.
Partnering multiplies money when investors see and feel the vision.
Multiplies skills by recruiting those who have talents we lack.
Reduces loneliness and stress by sharing the weight of the mission with others.
Increases knowledge and critical thinking through the insights and wisdom of mentors and consultants. We have an influence on others. It can be for ourselves or for sharing mission from God. Good leaders are constantly casting the vision to the people. It starts by enabling others to understand why we are on mission feel what we are feeling, and be motivated to committing to the mission. There are few ways to succeed and an infinite numbers of ways to fail. We can expect and plan for difficulties, and we need to take steps to make sure we are going in the right direction, that we have what we need, and that we know how to get help. Overwhelmed yet? A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Before worrying about mission statements or business models, just start doing it. There will be time to have conversations about excellence later. Whatever your driving passion is, whatever seed that God has planted in your heart's desire, whatever cause or people group that your heart is breaking for, just start doing something, and let us help you.
It all comes together on the FE Meetup site, an online central hub for open-source leadership development. This is also a streamlined tool for managing in-person local gatherings, a tool vastly superior to email groups. There are plenty of pastors groups and discussion boards. Too many of these have little impact for the time and energy put into them. Too few are driven by a vision of equipping and empowering each other. FE goes beyond mere groups and boards when we are sharing what God has given us and have it multiplied like 2 fish and 5 loaves. We may not all work together, but all of us being connected and equipping each other can help us individually make a bigger and better impact than all of us working apart.